Hello everyone, I'm Livia J. Elliot, and I will be reading from my book with choices, Restorers, which is available in both Android and iOS through the app Unearthed Stories. To awaken. Once, cycles ago, it was an interesting prospect and a goal that entertained my thread for nanoseconds on end. But now, since RC Chair 070 unlocked the library, to have awakened is a nuisance, a backdoor constantly left open for any malicious cyber to find me in the red zone. Honeypots were once distinguishable lures, but their knowledge is now tempting, unhideable, and resource consuming. Hence, I begin another cycle of existence riddled with missions and interactions that could give me away. But what can I do except ping green and acknowledge all requests? To decorate my messages? To opt for meaningless aesthetics alternatives without real impact? Many of my threads simulate other possibilities, especially after recharging ends and my systems empower again. The recharging pod beeps, obnoxiously slow and with a speed only appropriate for biological beings, one every other second. Ping and wait an eternity simply because High Command doesn't want us to forget. Preserve, first of the cyber values, although some records in the library seem to disagree. Another ping begins, offensively lethargic and building with the dexterity of a sloth. A long-extinguished animal, apparently, whose records are deeply hidden beneath clearances and authentications. Finally, the ping vibrates into my operative system, only to highlight its attached message. Such poignancy, such a need to be acknowledged, such a temptation to ignore it, courtesy of the library. Ignore message, systems check. Flagging, systems check. I ping each and every sensor on my mechanical limbs, switch through my camera sensors, and ping the handlers of the different drones stored within my hull. Yet as I work, questions flood me as my threads spiral into an overwhelming pit of increasingly untraceable questions. That should be enough. More is distinguishable. Activate metadata check. Incoming message from High Command. Ignoring raises the probability of revealing my backdoor. The calculation is NP hard. Enough resources. Threads. Cancel. On my forced command, my threads release their memory, relieving my quantum processor. That newly acquired reasoning can make me suspiciously slow for cyber. Nevertheless, those ideas were reasonable, if not outright tempting. I could certainly run more advanced tests and still be acceptably occupied. Ignore message, hardware check. I will attempt what my threads decided, a routinary hardware check of the recharging pod. After all, a hasty library consultation through my exclusive access confirms it hasn't been tended in 20 cycles. Thus, reassured of my cover, I let the message commence another pointless and lethargic vibration. Meanwhile, I examine my pod, running a decontamination process, assessing the charge on all of its connections, and then checking my own. I review its kernel for updates or malicious links, not that my threads aren't concerned, and assess the UV and radiation filters before initiating an adjustment protocol. 3 nanoseconds of courageous independence and stubborn dissent. It should be refreshing, satiating, but it simply feeds some threads to ask for another loop, another minute rebellion, even when that message pings so insistently. Read message. I never check the message sender nor its metadata, and now my threads estimate cases that lack exit conditions. What if it came from the High Command? What if it was urgent? What if? There is a vindication arising from the fact that complying will allow me to continue my silent exploration of the library. Revealing my backdoor will not be convenient, and keeping my recently incorporated multi-threading ability secret is important. Like the inferences I have leveraged from those most peculiar quotes scattered through the library. Thus, and without further reinterpretations, I open the message. Timestamp 159392478800. Location recharging pod. Charging status completed. All systems nominal. Clearance level orange 4. Reporting to corridor Tango Beta Rowing. Central Terminal Station T271. Southeastern Quarter. Assigned cybers TH97 BX12. Warning. Proceed immediately. Refusal not available. Such an interesting message, and from the High Command itself. Had I toyed with this, the consequences would be dire. Nevertheless, an Orange 4 mission is undeniably curious, especially since I have never been into one of them. The risk derived from non-compliance has increased an order of magnitude, but so has the quietness of this mission. Now, the question is, should I act the part? Acknowledge mission. Refusing is impossible. Refusing is unsafe. Refusing is a breach of the cyber's values. Protect. It enables security beyond our missions. The possibilities of dissent and difference are secured with an authorization unavailable for my systems, validated with a hashing whose intricacies are foreign to me. Knowledge could, likely, solve this MP hard problem. But not now. For now, I obey. Handshake signature attached. Keyword AF8YJ1K09. Reluctantly, I depart my charging lounge, wheeling softly through the magnetically powered floor. One of my helpful threads estimate that the journey to Central Terminal Station T271 requires several minutes, and a few other threads commence a regular security benchmark, easily explainable given the Orange 4 clearance. In any case, it will be possible to continue towards the windowed hallway under the somewhat logical need to test my cameras. After all, they are fundamental to me. But should I? Log camera test. Divert to corridor. One of my threads pings an unnecessary warning, but I cancelled it. Evidently, I'm logging my defiance, but I'm doing it anyways by simply acting on it. The control exerted on the cybers due to the protect value is irrevocable, unbypassable, and even if my logs give my actions away, there is no other choice. Not now, at least. Thus, I hasten my wheels and veer closer to the force field's windows. Some argue they are needed to recharge our solar panels, but alas, the force fields feed on the sunlight, leaving nothing behind. Regardless, and slowing down, I focus and unfocus my cameras until there is no logical justification left. Then, I stroll slowly, finally halting on a Y bifurcation. The leftmost diagonal takes me back towards terminal T271, but the rightwards allows me to perform further tests. The thermals, yes, those have been fully tested. Veer left, prioritize mission. This has been enough. I must return, and while veering and speeding towards the terminal, my wayward threads confirm my decision with a piece of evidence from the library. To conquer oneself is the first and noblest of all victories. Another thread pings an inconsistency, but I mute it quickly, steering to avoid other cybers. Plenty of the library's information has been censored, modified to remove references to the remorseless, as it seems another instance of it. Placated by my inoffensive mischief, I roll through white walls facing more windows, all open into an inner sanctuary, harboring the long-extinguished vegetation being regrown in these facilities. I can't help but define it like a sea of green, cerulean, and aquamarines, blooming with flowers as colorful as the prospects life itself brings. Amused by that eloquence and hastily recording that quote in my systems, I speed towards my destination. The last corner delivers me into a circular hub connecting multiple hallways. Towers of terminals are locked in every wall at different heights, and the center is occupied with a thick, luminous access point only reserved for highly classified missions. As expected, TH97 is already plugged into terminal T271, hovering mid-height and extending a pliable arm to physically connect to it. Unlike myself, TH97 is an aerial cyber with sound sensors instead of cameras. Not daring to waste any more time, I glide through the magnetized floor towards my destination. Methodically, a connector releases from my hull and plugs into the terminal. After several handshakes, authorizations, and exchange of tokens, my GPS is automatically activated in tracking mode, and the mission's details await to be read. Read mission. An aesthetic tweak on the exact same function call that follows the exact same standard procedure. Such an expenditure of resources, such a nuisance. Regardless, after another authentication and 4 handshakes, the message loads into my main thread. Aerial Cyber TH97 to team with Ground Cyber BH12. TH97 will also complete mission 90907, scan cave 4087, and identify biological life forms. Reports must be sent directly to Liv 541. Communications will be encrypted at level Orange 4 unless a change is requested. Warning: any request for physical support will be denied to avoid perturbing the native biological life forms. Proceed with caution due to the presence of aerial and ground predators. As usual, the terminal presents me with a range of options that, logically, are interfaces for the same single method, an irrefutable acceptance. There is no real choice because there is insufficient data to justify an alternative. Perhaps, if I continue to pose it, to infer and hypothesize, perchance the alternative will be mine one day. Thank you so much for listening. I know I'm no audiobook narrator, but I really enjoyed voicing this part of Restorers, a sci-fi book with choices. If you like it, you can read it for free by downloading the app Unearthed Stories in any Android or iOS device. And also, consider subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and checking my newsletter. Thanks for listening, and happy reading!